Hey, welcome to Intern Connect, the podcast where we prove the best place to launch your career might be closer than you think. I'm your host, Karen George, the program manager for Hello West Michigan. Whether you're halfway through your first internship, still figuring out what to do with your life, or just trying to find a coffee shop that isn't a 45-minute drive away, this podcast is for you. West Michigan is having a moment. From the lakeshore to downtown Grand Rapids, companies here are doing big things, and they want you to be a part of it. Each episode, we'll sit down with former interns who turned their summers into careers, local coordinators who know what it takes to stand out, and HR leaders who are actively looking for the next generation of West Michigan talent. Now let's get connected. I'm here today with LaShone Manuel, the career coaching manager at Calvin University. Thank you so much for joining me, LaShone.
Thank you so much for having me. So happy to be here.
So can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I am a career coaching manager, as Karen shared, and I've been in this role for about a year now. I've worked in the Career Center at Calvin University for over 6 years now as well in total. And I've journeyed through a lot of different things. I used to work at a high school in the Learning Commons, which was the library. Funny thing, I'm still working on liking reading, so that's very that's very interesting.
I love it.
Used to work at the Secretary of State.
Wow.
So various different careers and things that I've done, but all with the basis of like working with young people. I have a passion for teens and young adults. And so I love that in all of my career journeys, I've been able to do that. On the side, also work in ministry. I'm a youth pastor.
That's great.
Alongside of my husband. So yeah, we're pretty active. I'm a mom. I'm a wife.
Wow.
I wear many different hats. I'm currently a student in grad school as well.
Oh, congratulations. What are you studying?
Thank you. I'm getting a master's in media and strategic communication.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so throughout your career journey, what have been the biggest lessons or takeaways that you'd like to share?
I would say some biggest takeaways is be open. I think especially being a young professional going into it, you have this idea that it is going to be a one-track mind, and you'll soon find out that it's not always very linear and straight. But be open, because you learn more about yourself through the different careers, through the different jobs, through the different experiences, and you get to where you're supposed to be. You evolve into who you're supposed to be if you're open. So be open.
I love that. That's great. So how did you end up in West Michigan, and what keeps you here?
Yeah, so actually I was born and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Funny story, many people often ask me, like, where you from? You from Dallas? Now I have a countryside, southern side. I'm kind of like an old soul, if you will. But no, born and raised in Grand Rapids, and I did go to Kalamazoo, Michigan for undergrad. But what keeps me here is just the city in itself. I think that Grand Rapids is a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful place to raise your children. It's not as big as like Detroit and other cities, but it's not as small as other cities. Like, it's a perfect mix of everything. You can get the city, but you can get the chill, you can get the lakes, you can get the waters, you can get all kinds of things. And not to mention that they're revamping a lot. So I feel like a lot of things that you would want to see, we're starting to see it. So why not? Why not Grand Rapids?
Absolutely. So this podcast is specifically for our intern audience, and we want to provide them with some tips and some advice to take with them on their internship and beyond. So one big topic that they've talked about is professionalism and how you manage that professionalism when you're going from a college environment into a professional environment. And can you talk about some of the biggest professionalism gaps that you see in the students that you work with when they're entering their first internship?
Yeah. So honestly, this is going to sound very, I don't know, but it is the golden rule. Treat people like you want to be treated. I often feel like, when students are first entering into the workforce, there's a lot going on that they miss the basics of like social skills and being personable and being kind and being respectful. Like, that goes a long way. I feel like sometimes people have the perception that they have to know everything. But like I said, again, be open and know that they know you're here to learn as well.
Absolutely.
And be kind, soak up as much as you can. Be humble enough to ask the questions if you don't know. Actually ask people to be mentors, sit with them, get to know them, So just don't shy away from the social. And what I mean by the social is just those common characteristics of respect and kindness, because
Absolutely.
you literally could be talking to your next boss and you never know it. So carry that. Don't forget that. Don't feel like you have to be on it so much that you miss the foundational piece of just greeting someone with a smile and things like that, because that's what's going to open up doors, is those characteristics.
100%. And I think West Michigan especially is just very friendly. We're very, we're Midwestern, we're very nice. And so, that aspect of friendliness and kindness and, chatting with people and being open to that is important, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
So do you think that professional presence means something different in 2026 than it's maybe meant before? Do you think it's evolved as, social media has changed things and as, COVID has affected us so much? Do you think that it's evolved? And do you think that, what advice do you have for interns in dealing with that change?
Yeah. So I would say that professionalism, I feel like the foundation of it is still the same.
Yeah.
But I do think that times have changed, and I think it's important to know the work culture, to know where you're going into. So I do think you have to do a little bit more research.
Yeah.
Because professionalism in different industries could look different.
Absolutely.
So again, that respect and that kindness, that can go across all sectors. But what does respect and kindness look like in your workplace culture?
Yeah.
So I think people have to consider that. And do research by talking to people that work there. Reach out to people on LinkedIn. Look at the website, get a feel of what's going on there. What is the dress code? What is the atmosphere like? And that's that type of professionalism that maybe you need to enhance or evolve or walk in. So yeah, I would say that it has changed a bit, just because there's such a variety of industries, whereas I feel like in the past, there's usually been like those common big pillars
Absolutely.
of career paths, but it's so vast today.
Absolutely.
And then with AI and all the extra things, like there's so much to learn and things like that. So just kind of do your research.
Absolutely.
See the culture, and that'll help you define professionalism for
100%. I think that it comes a lot with expectations, and you just have to understand what the workforce expectations are in that workplace. So you can ask questions about that. I think people get nervous about asking questions, but I think those are, if you're unclear about something, like if you're unclear about their policy around AI, ask.
Yep,
if you're unclear about the dress code, ask. Just ask those questions, and then you'll have a little bit of a better sense of what professionalism means in that workplace.
Exactly.
For sure. So a lot of students I know and interns feel pressure to have everything figured out right before they graduate. It's a stressful time. I remember how stressed I was. Do you have any advice for those students feeling that pressure?
I would say if you're feeling that pressure, relax. Just start there and relax. And again, that open-mindedness, like know that it will all, we're going to be honest, it may not ever all make sense. But I think you'll learn that what you've gotten from one area is going to help you in the next area.
Absolutely.
And so don't be overwhelmed with picking the perfect major, picking the perfect career, picking the perfect whatever. Because truth is that could change in a few years.
Absolutely.
Like that may look different. As I mentioned, I started off working at the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
And then I worked as a librarian, and then now I'm a career coach.
Yeah.
And who knows with my, new degree, what I will be doing in the next 5 years. So just, relax. Don't overwhelm yourself with the thoughts of what should I be doing, what I need to be doing, but also get out there. I don't want you to also stay stagnant, because sometimes that feeling and that fear can overwhelm you so much that you don't move, and you don't want that to happen either. So get involved, get active, relax, network. And I know we'll talk more about that. I'm sure that comes up a lot, but yeah, that would be my advice.
Yeah, that's great. And I think it's important, not staying stagnant and trying things, because you can always move into something else. I think the concept of, job jumping is a little taboo. There's a little bit of controversy around it, but
yeah,
it also looks a lot different now than it used to, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it's okay to try different things and to move into different directions for sure. So what do you think is something that the workplace expects from new grads that college isn't going to be able to fully prepare them for?
That is a good question. I would say probably some type of knowledge in not necessarily AI, but computer tech. Like I feel like, and I think this is also like a generational thing where older colleagues may expect you to know how to work certain things that they don't.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely true. Yeah.
Yeah, so I could definitely imagine that they will expect you to have some level of technical skills. And even working with students, that is one thing I encourage them to put. Like, even if it's like Microsoft Word, everybody knows that, but not everybody. So, like,
absolutely.
definitely list that as a technical skill. Yeah, so some technical skills for sure.
That's a great answer. Yeah, I think that's something that, intimidates me. I'm not somebody, I'm younger, but I don't have a lot of technical skills. That's not something I'm very good at. So it's important to take every opportunity you can to learn about those things, because they can be an expectation. And I know a lot of students, going off of that pressure and that, the transition into the workforce, a lot of students feel that imposter syndrome in the first real job. I guess I shouldn't call them students. Those interns feel a lot of imposter syndrome in their first real job. How do you help them push past that?
That's a great question as well, because being a person, and I'll get real vulnerable with y'all, being a person of color in higher education that is a different than me in many ways, I often struggle with imposter syndrome. And I feel like that's something that you may have to continuously overcome. But I think what has helped me with that is knowing that I'm here for a reason. They hired me for a reason. I'm here for a reason. I'm good at what I do. And when you get out of your mind, when you get out of the doubt of like, I'm not meant to be here, or I feel like this is a false place for me. Once you get out of that, you will allow yourself to thrive.
Absolutely.
Because you were there for a reason. You were picked for a reason. So,
100%.
If you are interning, they chose you for a reason. And the best way to combat that imposter syndrome is to believe in that fact that you were there for a reason and walk in it. Give yourself the freedom to just walk in it and be it, because that's what they called you to do. So don't weigh yourself down with those thoughts.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great thought, for sure. And I think that with imposter syndrome, one of the things that's helped is, remembering that I'm there for a reason. I didn't lie on my resume. Like, those things are real.
Yep.
And they looked at that. They knew what my shortcomings were. They knew no one's expecting you to know everything.
Exactly.
But if you ask questions, and I think when you have those moments of doubt, just think about, okay, what actionable thing can I do to feel a little bit more confident in my role? What questions can I ask? What things can I learn? What can I Google?
Absolutely.
Honestly, that'll help me. And what projects can I push myself to do that will help me feel better and feel more confident in my role? Because you, again, like you said, you're there for a reason. So just remember that reason.
Yes. And also just take an initiative too. Like, again, that idea. So when you're an intern, chances are you're a student, you're in college, they know that you're here to learn as well. And so I think sometimes we kind of think that we have to know all the answers, when truth is they're looking for someone that is teachable.
Yes.
And so if you walking in it means asking those questions. Walking in it means admitting when you don't know.
Yeah.
And then asking them to teach you, because you're now getting the equipment that you need to help you. So like working with students or interns that we've had that have been just really invested in wanting to be better and do better, those are the ones that stand out to me.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, it's good if you do know some things, but don't feel like you have to be the know-it-all. Like, I love working with people that are eager to learn.
Absolutely.
So just kind of remembering that with the imposter syndrome, because I think also that gives you the ideology that you have to be it, when it's like walking in it means asking the questions, being in confidence, knowing that you're here for a reason, exercising that, taking initiative, sitting with the right people so you can soak up whatever it is you need to soak up, all of that.
Absolutely. If you could go back and give your college-age self one piece of career advice, what would it be?
I would say plan now. Plan now. I think I was one of the students that I did not complete an internship, and I so wish that I did.
Yeah. Planning
now means getting an internship. It is so beneficial.
Absolutely.
Because that's experience on your resume. And 100%. I think a lot of people miss that. And then also, there was a job that I could have done out of school, and I felt like it would have been perfect, but I waited too late to apply, and then the position was filled. So move now. Like, think now, plan ahead. Even if you're a sophomore, like, really start networking, get those connections so that you can actually be ready for the workforce when it happens.
Absolutely.
It's never too early. And I will say that it's also never too late, but the sooner you can start, the better your setup.
Absolutely. Yeah. Get that momentum going for sure. And we talked a little bit about networking before, so I'd love to bring it back to that. We hear from a lot of interns that they know that it's important to network, and we always hammer that in, right? It's important to network, but we don't talk about what the actual logistics of that look like. How do you network, and how can you overcome that awkwardness? Because it can be really awkward.
Yeah.
And so do you have any networking secrets or networking tips that you'd like to share?
Yes, I do. So I was speaking to some students about this one time, and I was talking to someone else. I can't remember, but they broke it down for me as simple as this. They gave me an analogy. They said, do you get upset when someone asks you for directions? And I was like, no, I don't. And it was like, well, networking is like asking someone for directions. And if someone asks you for directions and you don't know where to go, what do? Chances are you're going to try to help them figure it out. So you're asking someone with them, you're trying to help them get there. But the idea is that you're there and you want to help. You're not upset. You're trying to help.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to networking, you're simply asking someone who's already in the area you want to be in directions on how to get there.
I love that.
Yes, it was so good. It was such a game changer. So I would say frame networking in the mindset of asking for directions. Something as simple as asking for directions.
Yeah.
And I think once you shift it to that way, it'll kind of take the pressure off of like, oh, I'm just using them. And because it's not that at all.
No, it's not.
It's not. And if you're a stats person, there's research that shows that about 70% of people land jobs based off of referrals and networking.
Wow.
So a big percentage of jobs, most of my big girl jobs, I call them, were because of networking and the people that I knew. So again, that it's not what you know, but also who you know. That is a motto I live by. And so it's a necessity in professionalism. It's a necessity in the career journey and moving up and moving forward.
Absolutely.
And then just some tips of networking. I would say create a list. Sit down, do some self-reflecting. Who is it that you know that is doing things you want to do? Maybe it's your best friend's mom or your best friend's cousin, or maybe your aunt and uncle does something in that.
Yeah.
Like write out the list of the people that you know that are closely related to you or some type of connection to you, and start reaching out. And then even beyond that, utilize LinkedIn and get a part of associations and go to events. I work in the Career Center. We are always trying to encourage students to go to the events.
Yeah,
because that's how you meet people.
Absolutely.
You have to get out there. You got to start the conversation. You got to introduce yourself. If you stay under the rock, nobody will find you. Somebody will find you, but it may take longer.
But it might be too late.
I mean, yes. So you definitely got to open it up, okay?
Absolutely.
And network and get out there and put yourself out there, and you will find that it is so much more rewarding to network, to build connections, to build those relationships in the long run than you would have imagined. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to give you a scenario. I didn't prepare you for this one, but I want to give you a scenario. So imagine you're an intern, you're at a networking event, and there's tons of people around that you don't know. So what is the best way to approach someone and have a conversation with someone you don't know who they are, you don't know how to start that conversation? What would you do?
So for me, I'm big on complimenting. Something as simple as like, hey, how you doing? I love your hair, or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, be honest. Of course, don't be just making
Don't
up
lie.
stuff. But yeah, just complimenting and being personable.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I think that goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're really trying to back it up, the simple hi,
Mm-hmm.
just start there.
Yeah.
Greet them in kindness, and the conversation will flow.
Yeah.
Talking about elevator pitches, you definitely want to have something in mind so that but most of the time, networking literally starts with a conversation. So if you know just kind of your goal, like if you're looking for an internship, if you're looking to build your networking list, whatever that may be, or if you're looking to learn more about a company or an internship program, know the reason you're reaching out, and don't be afraid to start off with kindness, with greeting them, chatting with them, and then share what it is that you're looking for. And that's basically an elevator pitch. Like you're kind of introducing yourself, what you're looking for, and then kind of share why you want to connect with them. But yeah, I would say make the move. Just go talk to them, greet them with a friendly hi. If it helps, do a compliment if that kind of breaks the ice.
Absolutely.
And then kind of go into and knowing what you hope to get out of it.
That's great. Thank you. So if folks want to reach out to you and have questions for you, would like to connect, what's the best way for them to do that?
So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I am definitely on there. I would love for you to connect with me that way. And you can always email me. I am at Calvin University. My email address is LaShone.Manuel@calvin.edu. And all you have to do is just type in LASH. There's only one LaShone at Calvin and 9 in the world. So you should be able to find me if you know my name at Calvin.
That's great. And speaking of LinkedIn, do you have any rules or etiquette for LinkedIn that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I would say definitely have a good about section that kind of speaks to your niche. Everybody is different. Everybody has something unique about them. Find your special touch, your brand, if you will, and make sure that you market that in your about section on your LinkedIn. And definitely have a professional headshot and know that people are going to come look. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That's great. And then West Michigan favorites. So do you have a favorite restaurant, a favorite coffee shop, and maybe a hidden gem that you'd like to share with the group?
So, let me see. I love to eat. Eating is definitely a hobby of mine.
Oh, me too.
Probably not the healthiest thing to say, but it
is. Everyone's got to eat.
Okay, listen, we do got to eat, but I love to explore the food. I like seafood. So I love a good seafood boil. Mr. and Mrs. Crab is really good.
I want to try that. That's good to know.
And they just got a new location too. So definitely, yes, try that. I think it's called Garden District. That's downtown.
I love Garden District. That's such a good one.
It really is. And Tupelo Honey, they have the best like biscuits and jelly. Oh my goodness, so good. So those would probably be some of my faves. Oh, also go to Pepino's on Monday nights. They have $3.99 personal pizzas. Me and my family go on Mondays when I don't feel like cooking.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
There you go. Get those deals. Yeah, that's smart.
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I am trying Social Misfits this next weekend too. So that might be a good place, but we'll have to test it out and see.
There's so many places to try. That's great. Well, thank you so much, LaShone, for joining me today. I really appreciated getting to know you more and hearing your perspective. Anything else you'd like to share with this class of interns?
Know that you are great. Go out and be great. Just walk in it.
Amazing.
And network. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Intern Connect. The Intern Connect social series is keeping the momentum going all summer long. Next up is an evening at Millennium Park on July 15th. Head to hellowestmichigan.com to register and get all the details. We'll see you there.